Margie, you said you grew up on a road called the Fort. And I've heard of the fort when I was young, but I'm trying to think of what is the fort?
I really believe that the fort was a place where there was military actions taken during a scrimmage prior to World War II. And right on Penniman Road, across from where that road begins on Penniman Road, which would be
Red Cross's garage?
it's past Red Cross's garage, but right
The Terrace
corner
grocery
to
store.
Terrace
Grocery,
store.
okay.
There is a plaque there that would give more information about what the fort area is.
Okay. So, describe your educational and professional background.
Well, I went for 12 years to Bruton Heights High School in Williamsburg. It was a James City County, Williamsburg school. But because we lived in the Bruton district, we were able to attend that school because it was closer than the York County schools were.
That was prior to busing.
That was during busing.
Okay.
I was bused there.
Oh,
and most
okay.
of the children who went there, even the ones from Lightfoot and other areas around, were bused to that school, to Bruton Heights. It went for, by the time I got there, they have 12 grades. So I went there from kindergarten through 12th grade. It was before integration.
Okay.
So all of our teachers were, and you could have called them colored, you can call them black, you can call them African American, you can call them Afro Americans, but all of us were alike before integration. And our classes were very, very small, in that even in our graduation class, there were only 32 children. They did have, it was not a one-room schoolhouse, however, because even as early as first grade, there may have been 2 first grade classes and 2 classes straight up, right on through. I was trying to think. We were very close to our principals and our teachers because of the numbers that we had. And I was trying to think, did we have a counselor? And we could have had a counselor, but I don't remember having much contact with a counselor. They were also, at that particular time, they put you in what they call groups, and which meant that if you were observed as being someone who would definitely succeed in life, you were in group 1. If you were not, then you were in group 2 or group 3 or whatever. And I do believe all my life in school, I was in group 2. So going to college may have been or may not have been something that was foreseen for me. But I did go when I left Bruton Heights. I went to A&T. I had applied to another school. I thought about applying to it, but the application form just really overwhelmed me. Temple, because that was a school that had missionaries, and I was interested in missionaries all my life. I did not know how to pursue it, but that was something I was interested in. So when I went to A&T in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, I pursued a degree in social studies, and I enjoyed it, and I knew that was something I wanted to do, would be to working with people. And when I graduated from A&T, I could not find a job working because at that particular time, with that particular major, they wanted people with experience or a higher degree. So I was out of school for about a year, and I went. This is an experience I will always remember. I went with a cousin to New Jersey to live, and I said, "Well, I'll have to get some type of work while I'm here." So I went to a sweater factory, and it was in the fall of the year, and she left me there and told me how to get home on the bus. And I went home that night, and I went back the next day, and the whole time the people were asking me, "Are you going to go join the union? Are you going to go join the union?" In Williamsburg, I did not know a thing about the union. Williamsburg was a very unique place to grow up in, but I did not know about the union. And all I was doing is when they make sweaters, they leave a long string on the sleeve, and you clip that string off, and that was all I was doing all day long.
And you got paid.
And I got paid for that. I got paid for that. But when I came out that night, and I was on my way to join the union so I could clip the string off a sweater. After having gone to college, I called my dad. I went home back to where I was staying, and I called my dad, and I told him that I was coming home. And I went home, and then I decided that if I needed to get another degree, I would get another degree. So at that time, I enrolled in Atlanta University School of Social Work. So that was as high as what went in my education.
Wonder what Uncle James thought about you joining the union.
I didn't join. I could not see myself going in the fall of the year on a bus in an opposite direction from somewhere where I had been for about a week and not knowing how I was going to get back home and scared and wanting to get back before dark anyway.
And you said that you were in group 2, and that was the group that they didn't expect to go to college. Who encouraged you to go to college?
I guess maybe more of the my peers. And then they did have at Bruton Heights at that particular time, they had a group of girls who were chosen to work with some of the teachers or with one of the groups. And they called them the debutantes.
Okay.
And I was a member of the debutantes. There may have been about 10 of us. And we had the opportunity to take advantage of higher educational things in the community and social events. And I think that was one of the things, because my mom and dad had not gone.
Okay. So how important was education to them and to your family?
I think it was somewhat important to them. I don't remember them ever saying, "You have to go." However, they would support me with going. They paid for it all completely. And at that time, you did not have student loans or whatever it is that you pay for 10 years now, once you get your education.
Wow.
So they paid for every bit of it. And I went out of state, so they greatly supported me.
Okay. You remember what the tuition was?
No, I don't, but I do know that out of state was probably twice as much as it was in state.
Okay. Okay. So, name your father and your mother, and your sister, and which parent was the Huntley?
My mother's name was Geraldine Cicely Jordan Payne, and my father's name was James Henry Payne Jr. And my sister's name was Carol Belinda Payne. And my dad was the second child of Sarah Payne, Hundley Payne.
Okay. And what was James Payne and Geraldine Payne's profession and their education attainment?
My mother's education was completed through a GED. She did not graduate from high school, but through a GED. My dad's did finish high school, and he finished high school in York County training school.
Okay.
And my mother got her GED, I think, I'm positive, after we were in school. And
Okay. And I remember Aunt Jerry used to work at the center desk.
oh yeah, well, see, my mother was very, very motivated in things that she did. After she got her GED, she went to Hampton College, it wasn't university then, for tailoring. She taught herself. She went to business school to learn how to type. She taught herself how to sew and to play the piano. She enjoyed crocheting and knitting and needlework. And even though she did start off working in people's homes when the information center opened, she worked there as usher for the theater. But she ended up working at the center desk, which is the informational desk for them.
So she was a supervisor, wasn't she?
Yeah, she worked around. Daddy worked at as I said, at the Wythe House, but he also after that he went to Cheatham Annex and worked there, and that's where he retired. He was a government retiree.
Okay. And what did he do?
He worked as a mechanic,
Okay.
car automobile mechanic.
Okay.